I've been watching some YouTube, and I've obviously been trying to grow the channel. Try again. All right, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? Hopefully. Welcome back to the channel. I got I'm going to show you here. I don't know if that's going to show up there, but I'm playing with a microphone now here, and I don't even know if it's hooked up or working. I'm just hoping and assuming. But anyways, again, welcome back to my channel. It's been growing, so that is great. But I've been watching some YouTube on growing your YouTube, and everything that I am doing is there's a video on YouTube telling you don't do this, don't do that. So I got some long days in my life, and constantly putting out the long form videos, I guess you call it, cutting them down, editing them. By the end of the day, I get so tired sometimes, and there's a lot of moving footage between dash cams and GoPros and the stuff that's on my phone, and it takes hours and hours and hours. So I have found myself grabbing just little bits and snippets here and putting up shorts, and the shorts have been successful and brought me a lot of subscribers. But you know, if you watch YouTube, they're going to tell you shorts will ruin your channel because you're going to bring the wrong crowd, you're going to bring the wrong you know, if you have content that you want to put out, the shorts are going to draw people who aren't going to want to watch what your channel's about. Or my favorite is, you know, they keep going, well, you have to figure out what your niche is. I don't have one. Welcome to the channel. It's going to be whatever I want it to be about. So I am a pilot car in the US, and I travel the country moving some really cool stuff, and then other days some really boring stuff that isn't even worth filming. And I've had several of those the last couple of weeks that, you know, it would be a whole lot of video about, you know, it would be the vlog. It would just be, what am I doing after I follow this guy for 500 miles? But as I was saying, channel's not about anything specific. So I'm a pilot car, and I'm in the cockpit of my camper van, and I think I'm going into this is 7 years that I've been doing this job, and about 6 years since I bought my first van and set it up to sleep in, you know, basically anywhere in the country. And it has been, I want to say, a gradual learning curve. I watch a lot of van life guys, you know, Van City Van Life, Foresty Forest, a couple other guys that are just into camping and different ways to cook and stuff on the road. One of the biggest things was when I was first getting into it, I was into it for a year or two, and then we were moving some big oversized loads right when COVID started, and we weren't shut down, so we were still, you know, transportation industry was still moving. And the issue with that was we were pretty reliant on finding food somewhere. And back in March of 2020, there was no restaurants, there was no truck stop restaurants, there was no food, there was no whatever. So you had to figure out what you were going to do, and that was when I decided to go full out on I used to just throw blankets in the back and kind of wing it, and, you know, it looked like your typical hobo sleeping at the pilot, and it wasn't comfortable. It really, really sucked. So I had a big trip coming up down to San Antonio, and we live up almost, you know, between Cleveland and Buffalo, and we had that long trip coming up. We actually had a few of them back to back there, and I was like, I need to be more comfortable, and I don't know if we're going to be able to find any restaurants or any food. So that's when I built my first van out, and it's all simple stuff, you know, a cot in the back, built a little table, brought a cooler, and froze a bunch of meat, like beef tips and this and that. And I want to say I had one of those little Coleman Coolatron coolers. Well, it's not little, but very ineffective. Like, they're so expensive, and they're a gimmick that they sell to unsuspecting people and truck drivers in a truck stop who don't know any better, and they think they're buying like a trucker's fridge, because it's like, cool, keeps your food cooler. It only keeps your food cooler like 30 degrees, or, you know, right around there or something. So if it's like 70, 75 degrees, or it's really, really hot outside, that cooler is only going to be able to keep, you know, a temperature of maybe mid 40s, and that's not safe to store food in. So I froze a bunch of meat on that trip, and because it was all frozen, that Coolatron or whatever it was, it worked for the trip because I already started with everything frozen when I packed it in there, and I had it parked right in front of my air conditioner vent, so the air blowing in was already cold, and it helped it keep it even colder than it would have been. It was kind of staging for it to work. But I realized shortly after that trip that not only are those pretty ineffective, but they're also really, really big energy suckers. Like, they run constantly. They don't shut off. They're just on, go, go, go. And you're so much better off with an actual whatever brand, you know, a bougie RV or a bodega like I have. And I've had mine running I've had it for 6-7 months now, maybe 8 months, and it's been on non-stop since it came in my van. When I do get home and get parked, if I'm not going to be going anywhere for a while, I will shut the inverter down, and I'll run an extension cord in to the cooler, so I'm not just letting the battery drain down for a day or two. So, point being, there goes on a ramble of that, but back to the YouTube channel. I watched a lot. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, no cuts. I just watched a video on a guy saying, act like you're doing it live, so if you mess up, just roll with it. I didn't really mess up, I just lost my train of thought. COVID and going down to Texas and not knowing if we could get food, it threw me right into like camper vans and cooking on the road and things like that, and that's what threw me to like Foresty Forest's channel and his crock pot dinners and all those things. And I didn't quite, you know, he's been doing it a long time, so I didn't quite have that set up. But what I ended up doing was, and don't do this just because I said I did it, I got rid of it, and I'm so glad I did, but I ended up bringing a 20-pound propane tank with me and had that in my far back hatch. And my bed, actually, I built my own bed, so it has a table or shelf that slides out when you open the tailgate, and I put a grill up there, and we would grill dinner every night on our Texas trip. We would cook, like, you know, beef and potatoes or tin foil packs with whatever, and throw some steak sauce on them, and it was really good. But getting parked at 7-8 o'clock at night, and then starting a dinner from scratch on a grill there, and all the prep that goes into it, it was kind of exhausting. So my phone's ringing, and I don't know if anything's going to be able to be heard. Well, I did do a cut there because my phone rang, and I don't know if it messed with the audio on this. But anyways, got me into YouTube and following these van lifers and seeing how they survived out on the road, how they cooked for themselves and all that. And then some of them are, at least in the videos, they are extreme van lifers. And I was watching videos of these guys, and they're in the Rocky Mountains and in, up on the Canadian side of the border, and they are mountain climbing and exploring and seeing all these beautiful sights. Well, in my job, I travel through a lot of these same areas that these guys are out there filming and making YouTube channels, and I'm taking pictures and taking videos driving down the road. And I guess about a year ago, maybe, I was like, I'm driving through Denver, Colorado, and, west of Denver and up through the Rockies and through Breckenridge and Silverthorne or whatever and all those. And I'm like looking at the same thing these other YouTube videos or YouTube creators are putting up on videos. And I'm like, why am I sitting here watching this because I'm here or I just drove through here? And then I realized, oh, well, I could record this and put it up on YouTube also, challenge accepted, I guess. So it's a mixture. It's a hodgepodge. It doesn't have to be about anything. I don't have a niche. I just wanted to start vlogging. I'm not home a lot. I travel. I think I worked, which doing this kind of a job, you have people who only work daily and are home every night. You have people who work that are never home, like they're on the road all year long. And then you have the mixture people, and I'd say I fall into the mixture. I'm like, for comparison, last year I want to say I worked a total of 240 days total, and probably I want to say maybe 70 of those days were single day jobs where I was home every day. And then the other 100 and whatever, I was in California and Texas and New Mexico and all over the country. And then the next breakdown is out of that many days, let's say 150, 160 days, out of that many, how many nights were done in the van, either camping, rest areas, truck stops. We grab campgrounds sometimes because those, you get lucky with some of them. They have a really, really nice rain room, as my boss calls them there, but nice clean showers and all that. And we can pull 2 of our vans in and camp out for, $25 or something. So we'll hit those too. But out of the 160, 170 nights I was away from home, probably 150 of them were camping in the van. So, not all those nights are cooking dinner. Not a lot of those nights. Like, this is kind of a new thing for me. I've always been kind of the cook and making stuff up, but the last few months it's been, food's getting super expensive, and getting done at the end of the day and grabbing a meal somewhere. I mean, when it costs you $20 to eat at McDonald's, or if you're on the West Coast, it's probably $30. I know 4 chicken nuggets out in Portland, Oregon is $4. That is $1 per nugget. Absolutely not. I would never spend that if that was the last chicken nuggets on the face of the planet and they were never going to make them again. I would not pay $1 a nugget. But that's besides the point. That's just a rant on prices out west. So yeah, like a lot of the stuff I cook, you know, obviously some dinners can rack $30. If I'm spending $30 on a dinner I'm cooking in the van, it's usually 2 people eating, if not, you know, me and my other guy I work with, or me, another pilot car, and possibly the truck driver, you know, whoever's in the move there. If I can cook enough for everybody, it saves us all money there. So, and it's really still inexpensive. $30 to feed 3 or even 4 people is $100 plus if we all went out to a restaurant. So it is about cost savings too, and we save a lot of money doing it that way. So you know, it's nothing in general though. The channel is just if you came over here from the shorts and it's because of awesome dash cam footage and making that, you know, I just got I'm not going to say it on this video because I think YouTube has a habit of not pushing things out there if you mention other platforms. I don't know if that's true. I just watched it in another YouTube video, so I won't mention it, but I make short videos on two other platforms, and I didn't have the one, and I just joined, and maybe like a month ago, and started putting videos up there. And between all of them, it's easy and quick to grab just a little bit of footage, you know, if something funny happens or crazy happens, and throw it out there. And YouTube's like, well, don't do that because you'll bring people to your channel, but it's not your core audience of the people you want. I don't care who's subscribed to my channel. I'm going to keep doing it. It's going to be a mixture. It's going to be cooking in the back. It's going to be camping. It's winter time right now. It's, you know, a week before Christmas here, so there's not going to be a whole lot of, like, I'm not driving through the Rockies right now, I can tell you that. I'm in a minivan, and I'm in all-season tires, you know, which are brand new, but winter's been pretty mild the last few years, so it's not, you know, it's kind of crazy to go out and buy another $800 set of tires just to wear the rubber down when it's 50 degrees out. So there won't be any, you know, that I can foresee, won't be any huge, long, crazy trips across the country, at least for a few months until the weather breaks. But it's going to be camping and cooking, and I'm still going to be trucking. So there'll be some oversized load stuff and, you know, whatever. It's a vlog. It's whatever I want it to be. It doesn't have to be a niche. It doesn't have to be specific. I do know this, and this is kind of annoying, is, you know, I didn't look this up on YouTube. I'm 37, and, I mean, I'll be 38 soon enough, but I never looked this up on YouTube, but YouTube knows who I am, and they've been pandering videos to me of, like, starting a YouTube over 40, now's the best time to start, or I started my YouTube at 70. Like, I'm not that old. I'm still a young guy. You know, I like to tell myself I'm still a young guy anyways, so it's just been flooding my YouTube with that, and, you know, those channels there, you still click on them, watch a couple minutes. I mean, support them, you know what I mean? But a lot of them are very specific, and they know what they want to talk about. Either they're talking about how to do a YouTube channel or why you should do a YouTube, and that's what every video is about. That's not my channel. Mine's going to be all over the place. A couple weeks ago, we had 6 feet of snow at my house, and it was truckers stranded everywhere. And then a week after that is we're delivering a giant military C-130 plane, you know, driving that thing down the highway, and then abandoning a load, you know, that couldn't make it up the mountain. It could be anything. It honestly could. Or it could be me cooking a pot roast or fajitas in the back of the van. So if you're into van life, you know, I'm not a full-time vanner. I don't proclaim to be. I I spend a lot of nights in my van all over the country, but I have a house, I have a family at home, and my goal is to get back to them as often as possible. But with my job, that's just not the reality of it. So when I'm away from home, you know, I see guys who are out on the road all the time, and you look in the back of their work vehicle, and like, they're hotel guys. They have a to-go bag, which is a duffel bag with a week's worth of clothes. There you go. That's it. That's not the case for me. So I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I have been since I was 9. So going on 30 years here. But I'm a type 1 diabetic, and you know, we're traveling and we can't stop, and sometimes there's nowhere convenient to stop, and this and that. So having the van set up with all of the amenities that I could need is convenient for me, because I don't ever have to worry about a low blood sugar or having to stop a whole load because I need to get something to eat or whatever. Like, from my driver's seat, I have everything. You know, I've got juice, I've got my cooler right behind me. In the morning, I've been better. I've been putting my snacks in the back, and I just grab a couple and stage them, you know, in my lunchbox, rather than putting a whole box of Little Debbie's in my lunchbox. But I'm afforded that convenience of having everything I need anywhere I go in the country, doing the van lifestyle. So doesn't mean we don't get hotels. Obviously, some days are just too long. You want a hot shower and a king bed, and if the price is right and the night's a long night, yeah, we're gonna get the hotel room. So, but yeah, so far, last I checked before I was making this little recording here, 953 subscribers. I am almost to my 1,000. So before I started actually recording this video here, I was looking. I am up to 953, so that road to 1,000 there. Obviously, I don't have my 4,000 required watch hours, and you know, that's going to come, and if I'm not putting content up regularly, it just might not ever come, but hopefully it gets there. If you are, you know, interested, and it looks like something that might be entertaining for you on YouTube when you're looking to kill some time, we got trucking and van life and camping and oversized loads, and sometimes at home. I don't do a lot of recording with my family. You know, I got kids and this and that, so we have a little bit of fun, but I don't want to put too much out on the internet with them. So yeah, if it looks like you want to come along for the ride, I'd appreciate the support. Yeah, just did a reset there. Yeah, but if it looks like something that you might be interested in, as I'm doing a Yui and getting home, right down below there, the subscribe button, that helps me out, you know, pushes me past that milestone, and it keeps me motivated here to keep pulling the camera out and putting all that effort into, you know, I'm old, remember, YouTube over 40, so it's not easy for me to edit these videos and do this. You know, I was like, man, I give these guys a lot of credit that are putting out these awesome half-hour videos. Like, I assume it gets easier with more experience, but right now it is like a full-time job trying to put these out there. So yeah, if you like it, hit subscribe, maybe a like, even leave a comment there if you are following the channel, and you know, leave a comment why you're on the channel. What are you interested in? Are you interested in the trucking? Do you like the oversized loads? Do you like the cooking in the van life stuff, the travel, the scenery, whatever you might be into? You know, let me know why you subscribed, because YouTube doesn't tell me that stuff. You know, they'll tell me what videos got me subscribers, but it doesn't tell you who subscribed based on that video. So you can't even do your own homework and go look at people's YouTubes and see what, what they're interested in. I guess if I can figure that out, like I said, I want my videos to be about anything. No niche, no requirements, no, I'm not going to fall into an algorithm that makes YouTube happy. I'm just going to record stuff and I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to put it on YouTube. And I will say that my shorts are anything. That doesn't matter. It might be trucks, it might be camping, it might be my Instapot in the back seat. I just do that because it's fun. I'm not branding my channel or trying to convince anybody that's what my channel's about. I would hate to see, when you're small still, you're watching that number there, that 1,000 subscribers, and you're at 857 for 3 days, and then you glance at your studio and you see 856, and when you're still small like my channel is, you're like, oh, like, what did I do? Like, did I say something? Did I offend somebody? I mean, if you're easily offended, you probably don't want to be on my channel. I work with truck drivers, and I'm kind of a truck driver myself, so stuff slips here and there, but you see that number fluctuating, and to actually see that you lost a subscriber is like, I had YouTube ever since I had Google, and I remember my daughter used a phone that was logged into my account, and when I started getting active on YouTube, I had to go through and unsubscribe from like 300 channels that were pandered to a kid, and thank God, like, it was so many, and you have to do each one individually or whatever, and I didn't think twice about it because these are all large channels, gaming channels and whatever else that people their age like to watch. So I'm sure they didn't notice the 1 subscriber or whatever, but when you're at this point, it's just like, oh, what did I do? But when you see 5+ or you get 10 overnight or whatever, it's kind of exciting. It's like, well, whatever I'm doing is entertaining, it must be somewhat good because it's getting people to click that button. So I will go ahead and finish it at that, because I am home, as you can see by the New York State Certified Escort Vehicle sticker on the vehicle next to me. And I'm gonna call it a night. I got tomorrow off, at least so far, unless the boss tells me differently when I get in the house. And I'm gonna be gutting the car out here maybe tomorrow. I gotta gut the whole camper van out and put seats back in, because we're gonna be going to Florida for vacation, taking the kids to Disney over Christmas. So this has got to turn back into a passenger van, with definitely taking the fridge. Like, I like having ice cream with me everywhere. That is, we're gonna keep that in here and find a spot for that. So that'll be what I'm doing the next couple of days. I'll probably record some stuff on, stripping out the van, maybe how I have my setup. Maybe I'll wait and do that, how my van is set up for life on the road there. That sounds like a good video after New Year's when we get back here. So for now, I'm going to call that good. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed this far, and anybody who might have made it this far into my incoherent rambling. Like that guy in Billy Madison, nothing you said makes sense, and everybody is now dumber for having listened to it. That is the best line in a movie ever. But yeah, thanks for the support, and if you want to stick around and you want to see any more of my stuff, smash that button below. Thanks, guys.